There are many factors that slow down brain performance. In addition to factors such as aging, age, and disease, daily habits can also slow down the brain. Habits to slow down the work of the brain range from lazy movement to lack of sleep. This habit is often considered normal because the effect is not felt immediately. Even though these bad habits can actually reduce brain function so that it becomes slow. If the habit of triggering a slow brain is not immediately avoided, it is feared that the effects will become worse in the future and even increase other and more serious health problems. Habits that make brain performance slow down. The brain is a vital organ that plays an important role in carrying out all the functions of the body as a whole. When the brain is disturbed, the effects can be fatal to all parts of the body so that it cannot function optimally. Here are some daily habits that must be avoided so that the brain stays healthy and doesn't slow down easily, compiled from various sources. Number 1. Lazy to move. According to Harvard Health, being lazy is an activity that allows the body to do nothing, often sitting, lying down, or lying down for long periods of time. If you are in good health and not sick, do not continue to indulge in laziness. People who are lazy to move tend to be easier to experience cognitive function disorders in the long term. This lack of physical activity turns out to cause decreased brain function. Therefore, it is important to continue to do physical activity even though it is light. The reason is, physical activity can stimulate oxygen-filled blood flow to the brain and repair cells and brain tissue that are starting to break down. At least you can clean the house to stay active or exercise much better. Not only the brain, this laziness can trigger diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, and even other diseases related to Alzheimer's. Number 2. Sitting too long. Even if you work from home and sit a lot, every now and then you still need to stretch by walking around the house more. Why can't we sit too long? Because excessive sitting frequency can interfere with the health of the body. Examples are muscle weakness, neck and spinal disorders, leg disorders, and decreased brain capacity. Very little blood and oxygen intake is obtained by the brain when you sit, especially for a long time. This condition can result in a decrease in the ability of the brain. When the brain doesn't get the two intakes above, its function slows down, so it will be difficult for you to focus and feel tired quickly. On the other hand, a 2018 study in PLOS-1 found that excessive sitting is linked to changes in the part of the brain important for memory. Those who sat the longest had a thinner medial temporal lobe (MTL) region. According to experts, thinning MTL can be the beginning of cognitive decline and dementia. Number 3. The music volume is too loud. Listening to music through headphones at full volume not only irritates the eardrums, but can also permanently damage hearing in just 30 minutes and impair brain function, causing the brain's work to tend to slow down. That's because listening to loud music or loud noises can weaken the nerves, even to the main nerves. This condition can also damage fine nerve endings, which have the potential to cause an inflammatory reaction in the brain, so this can affect loss of cognition, such as dementia. This problem will also hamper the body's normal performance. Apart from damaging the brain, sourced from Healthline, based on research from Germany's Mainz University Medical Center, increased amounts of noise can make the heartbeat faster, which can cause blood clots, strokes, and heart failure. Referring to Rush stories, an increase in the amount of noise can also cause some symptoms, such as dull hearing and ringing in the ears. The maximum recommended volume limit should be no more than 60%. If more than that feels less tight, immediately check your ear health to the doctor. Number 4. Lack of sleep. Lack of sleep and often staying up late includes habits that slow down the work of the brain. In addition, lack of sleep can cause facial skin aging because it loses its elasticity. Researchers have found that the effect of sleep deprivation on the brain is that it can lead to decreased alertness and concentration. It's no wonder that after hours, or even days, of not getting enough sleep, you tend to get confused yourself, forget things easily, and have a hard time thinking clearly. Research in the December 2018 issue of Sleep, reported by Harvard Health Publishing, cognitive skills such as memory, reasoning, and problem-solving will decrease if you are sleep-deprived. In addition to decreased brain health and sagging skin, the body's metabolism is also disrupted because it becomes less effective in burning fat in the body. You should know that sleep improves memory from overlapping other stimulus inputs. In addition, sleep can also form long-term memories. Of course, this makes your memory sharper and you don't forget easily. However, remember that you can get these benefits if you can sleep well or in the slow sleep wave sleep phase. Number 5. Smoking habits. Are you still smoking too much? You must be vigilant because smoking can shrink the brain and affect your memory. When memory declines, you are twice as likely to develop dementia, including Alzheimer's. Not only that, the consequences of smoking also increase the risk of heart disease, diabetes, stroke, cancer, and high blood pressure. Cigarettes can also cause addiction. Why is that? Reporting from Healthline, Laurie A. Russell Chapin, Ph.D., professor in the online Masters of Counseling program at Bradley University, said that nicotine mimics several neurotransmitters in the brain because of its similar shape to the neurotransmitter acetylcholine in the brain. Nicotine also activates dopamine signals which create pleasurable sensations. Over time, the brain begins to compensate for increased signaling activity by reducing the number of acetylcholine receptors. This causes an increase in nicotine tolerance so that the body seems to need more nicotine. Then, nicotine is able to mimic dopamine by stimulating the brain's pleasure center, so that the brain begins to associate the use of nicotine with pleasant feelings. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH, nicotine in cigarettes can change the brain that causes withdrawal symptoms when someone tries to quit smoking. If this occurs, side effects including anxiety, irritability, and a strong desire to consume nicotine will be experienced. The changes that occur in the brain as a result of this cycle create dependence on nicotine. As a result, smokers can experience addiction that is difficult to stop. Number 6. Easily stressed. Easily stressed to chronic stress. It can kill brain cells and shrink the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for memory and learning. As much as possible, you need to manage stress wisely so it doesn't become chronic. Also, try to avoid things that cause excessive stress. Look for other activities outside that can reduce stress levels, like exercising, doing hobbies, occasionally meeting friends and chatting, or asking for help from a psychologist. Number 7. Overeating. When you overeat and feel full, your brain is unable to build strong networks of connections to help you think and remember. Maybe you've proven it yourself. After eating a lot, you feel more lazy, tired, sleepy, and the brain becomes slower to think. This has been proven in research published in the American Physiological Association. The research tries to see the working process of the brain using medical examinations. Then the researchers found that the brain is impaired shortly after eating a high-carbohydrate meal. Then why can this happen? What causes the brain to slow down? The slow brain can be caused by an increase in serotonin after eating. When you finish eating, your blood sugar will rise quite dramatically. Then naturally the body will experience an increase in the hormone insulin, which functions to control your blood sugar levels. However, insulin not only normalizes your blood sugar, it also causes tryptophan to increase in the brain. This condition will have an impact on the amount of serotonin connecting between nerve cells, which functions to regulate mood, digestive function, and plays a role in the central nervous system. Changes in the amount of serotonin can then make you sleepy, and the brain takes longer to carry out the thought process. In addition, eating too much of this triggers excess weight gain to obesity, diabetes, heart disease, to diseases related to brain problems and Alzheimer's. From now on, check the intake of the food you consume. Make sure it's nutritious so that the body doesn't starve easily. In addition, try to eat regularly and on schedule. Number 8. Staying too long in a dark place. Dark rooms and too little light can weaken brain function and lead to depression. Research shows that sunlight actually helps your brain function properly and optimally. Especially in the morning, try to open a window so that there is lots of natural light coming in as well as air exchange. It would be even better if you exercise in the morning right under direct sunlight. Number 9. Excessive screen time. Excessive screen time, such as taking too long in front of the TV, laptop, or frequently scrolling the cell phone screen, may have an effect on brain health. Habits that slow down the brain due to screen time also affect mental health, so it is feared that perpetrators get emotional easily. Even though the digital era makes it easy for you to communicate with anyone without leaving the house, chatting or talking face to face, it's much more effective for maintaining brain health. However, the previous habit was nothing compared to this one habit. What's that? The answer is pornography addiction. Pornography not only makes the brain work slowly, but can change a person's personality from good to bad. For more details, you can watch my previous video. In that video, you will find out how dangerous pornography is. So for those who are curious, please watch it. That's a habit that makes the brain slow and should be avoided. I hope this is useful. See you in the next video.